Whoa, hey, yo, calm down. There's so many lawsuits everywhere. I don't know what's going on, but welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming for the second week of December 2022. I'm your host, Mark Hine. You're going to get all the latest and greatest in esports business and gaming news as well. Let's dive right into it. For our first top 3 story, the Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, have filed a lawsuit to block the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard acquisition. Many of you know this big news already, but I'll give you a bit of a recap if you are not up to date. The FTC has sued to block this acquisition. The FTC states that this would harm consumers, given Microsoft's ability to use franchises like Call of Duty to lure gamers from rival companies. They also pointed to other acquisitions like ZeniMax as a move to suppress competition from rival consoles, which other European regulatory agencies have also shared concerns about. As of this recording, the deal has been approved in Saudi Arabia, Brazil, and Serbia, but has also been under review in other countries like the United Kingdom, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and others. The vote ended up being 3-1 in favor of the complaint, despite Microsoft's recent announcements of its 10-year partnership with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo and its continuation of offering Call of Duty on Valve's platform Steam. Also, something interesting to note is that Gabe Newell, who's the co-founder of Valve, provided a statement saying that he trusts Microsoft's intentions, saying that Phil and the games team at Microsoft have always followed through on what they told us they would do. So it seems to many people from other companies and financial analysts are, kind of conflicted on this. On one hand, we have Microsoft making lots of moves to assure that the FTC, that it won't be bad for consumers and competitors, but Sony has been the biggest proponent that this will be detrimental for them. And while Microsoft still seems to be performing positively on its stock with all other parts of their company being considered, I'm not sure what will happen to Activision Blizzard on their stock if this doesn't go through. I also find it amusing that Microsoft both has to justify its purchase while also kind of stating how it's stupid, because they're trying to convince consumers on their side that's a good and, makes sense, and investors as well that it makes sense, but it also has to tell the government that it's not so bad for everyone else and that maybe this deal isn't the best thing either. So it's, I likely think it's going to go through. There's going to be some concessions taken out from the deal, but still, even with this FTC lawsuit, a lot of people might still think that this will go through. The Game Awards have happened. What a night. If you want to know about the awards, basically it was a battle between Final Fantasy, God of War Ragnarok, Stray, and Elden Ring. There were lots of other cool things that happened, like Riot Games dominating the Esports Awards, Ludwig winning the Content Creator of the Year, as well as many cool games announced like Remnant 2, Hades 2, Judas, Death Stranding 2, Armored Core 6, and more. Overall, there were some great moments and some interesting last few moments, but I think the Game Awards were an astounding success given the viewership numbers. I reported this preliminarily, but Streams Charts has updated numbers here. 3.4 million peak viewers across all channels, with the Steam broadcast actually peaking at 845,000 viewers, 10.8 million hours watched, 2.8 million average viewers actually, and this was only less than across 4 hours of airtime. So this was nearly 750 people actually covered this ceremony, which is a huge increase from the 470 channels in 2021. Love seeing the gaming community thrive, even if I don't really play many of these games. I still think it's awesome to see a lot of people recognized for their efforts and a lot of people involved in the gaming community coming together to recognize cool things. So I'm excited for next year's Game Awards as well. Activision Blizzard have filed a lawsuit against the California Civil Rights Department. For reference, the California Civil Rights Department sued Activision Blizzard for misconduct, and now Activision Blizzard are suing them for improper handling of that lawsuit. According to Axios, Activision Blizzard alleges that the CRD, which is the California Civil Rights Department, withheld information about media and labor union contracts or contacts regarding the case, and claims that the agency orchestrated a media war against them and failed to comply with public records requests. Activision Blizzard also alleges that the complaint was unlawfully filed since the agency didn't appropriately seek to mediate the dispute before filing that suit. So this is really just intriguing to me that they keep suing each other. Like, is anything actually going to happen? Who knows? I just thought you should all know, since Activision Blizzard has had a tumultuous past few years, to say the least. As far as partnerships go, Control partner with Horizon Union as well as the Esports Awards. For the first partnership, Control will be the official meal replacement and functional food brand partner for Horizon Union, and they'll provide their product to influencers and teams. For the second partnership, they will sponsor the Esports Awards Journalist of the Year Award. Psyonix partnered with Lo-Fi Girl. This will take place during Rocket League's Frosty Fest, where players will be able to collect Lo-Fi Girl cosmetics and enjoy exclusive music from the Frosty Fest event. Astral is partnered with Drive. Drive is a car-sharing startup from Denmark, which means Astralis will cooperate on transportation with Drive and will honestly promote Drive as an alternative to car ownership in Europe. I think this is a really cool partnership, and I think it's good that more people are doing similar things like this. Blitz.gg have partnered with Mana Interactive. Blitz.gg will provide users with a variety of rewards across Valorant, League of Legends, and Apex Legends that relate to Mana Interactive, and also users subscribed to Mana Pro will have 1 year subscription to Blitz Pro as well. Newcastle United partnered with VOV Gaming, which is owned by Savvy Games Group. The deal means that VOV will help Newcastle United build its esports presence in the Saudi Arabian market. And for reference, VOV Gaming is a gaming company building experiential gaming venues across the world. As far as finance and M&A goes, GameSquare Esports have merged with Engine Gaming and Media. GameSquare shareholders will own approximately 60% of the combined entity, with current Engine Gaming shareholders owning the rest of the company. This combined company will use GameSquare's branding and will combine personnel, operations, and have additional areas to cover all segments of esports. Gangster raised a $4.25 million pre-seed round. The esports platform will be using this to hire top talent and expand into different games while supporting grassroots and online gaming communities. The round was led by Bessemer Venture Partners as well as Hetz Ventures. Keyword Studios has acquired HelpShift for $75 million. The customer support platform deal includes a cash consideration of up to $60 million to up to $15 million in cash and shares pending the company performance. The Mirror have raised a $2.4 million pre-seed round. This game dev platform will be using this to grow its workforce and expand its brand recognition among game creators. The round was led by Founders Fund with participation from Convoy Ventures, Abstract Ventures, Florida Funders, and Palm Tree Crew. As far as workforce changes go, Brian Anderson joins FlyQuest as the new CEO. Brian was most recently the co-CEO of esports org Beast Coast, so he definitely has experience running an esports org. He will be key to growing the company from a commercial and competitive standpoint, and he has a bachelor's in finance from Indiana University, Bloomington. Steven Cyplick joins TSM as the Chief Revenue Officer. He will be responsible for all revenue efforts at TSM, and he comes from the traditional sports industry, where he was previously the SVP of Sales for City Football Group in Singapore. He holds an executive MBA from Universidad Europea. Leo Faria has been promoted to the global head of Valorant Esports at Riot Games. He's been with Riot Games for about 7 years now, most recently serving as the head of Wild Rift Esports and doing product management before then. He holds a bachelor's in IT from Central Universitario UNA. Berkeley Ejeans has been promoted to the Chief Marketing Officer of Xsolla. Berkeley has been with Xsolla since 2020 and was previously the VP of Global Marketing. For reference, Xsolla is a video game commerce company that helps with payments, monetization, and user management for a variety of services. He has experience with Ghost Gaming in the past, NASCAR, and IBM, among others, and he holds an MBA from the University of Notre Dame. As far as new stuff goes, this is the third lawsuit I'm covering today. Riot Games are suing NetEase over Hyperfront, which was filed in a UK court, with Riot Games alleging NetEase copied many parts of Valorant to put into their game Hyperfront. This includes things like overall type and design of the game, to modes, characteristics of agents, as well as many other things. If you want to learn more, you can read more in the 162-page lawsuit. Xset co-founder Marco Miro has launched M80. This new esports org has created a Valorant roster called Bomb Squad and signed many players to try and enter the Challengers League next year. Epic Games have launched minor-specific user accounts called cabin accounts, which will be safe and inclusive for children and will prompt them to enter their guardian and caretaker's email for parental consent. They'll need permission for features such as voice chat, purchasing items, linking accounts to social media, and downloading games. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the authors and brands themselves for the images and information provided. Once again, shout out to James Fudge for his overall newsletter. If you want to go support him, the link is down in the comments down below. And like I said, in the month of December, this week in esports and gaming will be sporadic. I might have it some weeks, I might not have it, so don't count on it every single week. But for those of you who are watching it, I appreciate you for sharing and commenting. And as always, have a great day, everybody.